I've been thinking about the law of unintended consequences. If you recall, last time I was in Acts chapter 8, where Saul was persecuting the church. He was going to wipe them off the face of the earth. But what happened was everybody ran for their lives and left the city of Jerusalem preaching the gospel while they went. Turned out that Saul, quite unintentionally, sent out a whole bunch of missionaries that spread the gospel all over Israel. Well, that got me to thinking about a friend that I just met who lives in Cuba. Cuba, as you know, is a Marxist regime, and Marxism is no friend to Christianity. So the Castro government decided that they would make things as difficult for Christians as they could, so they forbid them to meet in groups of any larger than 20. Well, they accommodated. But what happened was every time the group got bigger than 20, that meant that they had to meet in more than one location. Before you know it, Castro was planting churches all over Cuba, to the extent that in about 10 years, the percentage of Christians in Cuba went from about 3% to 10%. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 million to 3 million new believers, all as a result of the unintended consequences of Castro's work to try to hinder the church. Well, this got me to thinking, sometimes when we're opposed, it just forces us to do something that the Holy Spirit intends to use for good. And I'm wondering if what might be happening in a place called Middleton, Wisconsin, where a group of students and parents have been hosting a Jesus lunch once a week in a neighboring park. Well, there are a lot of things going on, including the appearance of our friends from the Freedom from Religion Foundation that wants them to stop the whole thing. Well, here's what I think they ought to do. There are about 300 people in that group. I think what they ought to do is go ahead and shut it down and move all 300 of them back onto the school campus and meet in groups of 10, eating, sharing, praying, studying the Bible in every corner that they can get into. In other words, plant about 30 churches right on the campus of Middleton High School. I think that might be a great idea, an unintended consequence if there ever was one. Well, we'll see you next time.